stop this door. So it doesn't have to go all the way. Okay. I'll go ahead now. All good. Great. Hey, how's it going? I'm Colin.
Good morning, I'm Andy. And we have Mark.
We have Mark, so I'm just going to let him tag on in right now.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Monday, January 4th, 2021. Happy New Year, Mark.
Happy New Year. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Mark, I'm sure, was out very late partying downtown with the masses of people. What'd you do for New Year's Eve?
You know, it was the opposite, probably the quietest New Year's we've ever had. We actually were at home, and I was so surprised at how big the fireworks were that my neighbors were setting off. My poor dog was petrified. So we had to hold the dog all night. But so that's what we did. We had a little toast at midnight, and we watched a movie.
What you got to do. My wife was exactly the same way. She was terrified of the fireworks, so I had to hold her. I think it's because people are bored and they've had nothing to do all year. And so I don't know about your neighborhood, but my neighborhood, they've been firing fireworks since July 4th anyway.
I have no idea where they buy these things. I literally felt like they were shooting off rockets next to our. Thankfully, no injuries, and the kids in the neighborhood seemed to have a good time, so it was all good.
Thankfully, no injuries is correct. I heard rumors of a car driving around downtown shooting fireworks out of their window. You want to talk about the peak of irresponsibility? Another reason to stay indoors: COVID and fireworks terrorists. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, you probably don't know this, but for the first time in his illustrious 20-year career, Mark took a week off of work. Can you believe it?
A whole week. It was fantastic. I did miss everybody, I'll tell you. But we had a good time at home. All the kids were home. And it was just nice to sort of do not too much.
Now, I know I took a week off not too long ago, and I got some texts, I got some phone calls, I got some emails. How did you do managing that situation, Mark?
Well, we had a couple phone calls. But, you know, overall, I think it was pretty good. We are still focused a lot on COVID safety. And so I have some good news to report that, of course, I was working on last week. So, so overall, I think it was positive. I should just go right into the good news, right?
I think that's where we're at. I think most people at home know that, but he was away when it came out. So we've talked about it a little before. What do you have to say, Mark?
So you may or may not have heard this, but we've got good news. For the health center, we are having our final vaccination, number 2 dose, on this Friday. So that is very exciting. All of our residents, a good majority of our staff, and we actually have additional staff that will be getting their first dose, and then the health department will be coming back for their second dose later on. So that's extremely positive. But I think the biggest news, which you know about, is that we are hoping that the week of the 11th of January, all of our residents in independent living and assisted living will have the opportunity to get the vaccine. So we've got about 40 of the consents back for independent living. I want to encourage you to fill out that consent, get it turned in. And if you need some help, reach out to Kim. She's very happy to help you with that. As a matter of fact, her whole life is going to be focused around Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, getting all of those done, because we want you to have the opportunity to get that vaccine. And what a blessing that is. So you may have heard it already, but I'm just excited to say it again.
Incredible. It's a great reason to be a part of Westminster Communities is that COVID vaccine. Circle, circle, dot, dot, go see Kim and get your COVID shot. That's what it's all about. But of course, we don't know exactly when that is. We know it's sometime next week. We're sort of at the mercy of the powers that be. We're getting it. We're just not sure when. So get your paperwork done and then wait for details. I know that patience is not the strength of anybody here right now, because we all are so excited to get it, and that passion is a great thing. But we do need patience, because as we get the details, we will give it to you.
Yeah, and we're going to give it to you in multiple ways.
Of course.
We will inform you multiple ways. We'll certainly put a memo out. We'll probably send an email, and we'll certainly be talking about it through our COVID update on Thursday. If we have the information, if not, we will get the information to you.
Thursday, 10 a.m. right here on channel 732. It will be live, technology pending. And then, of course, it'll always be available in the Palms TV icon on My W Life directly after it is filmed. If you're not on My W Life, what are you doing? You have to get on www.mywlife.org. I talked to a resident last week, and they said, yeah, I'm on My W Life. I watch channel 732 all the time. No. You got to go on the internet and get on My W Life. Common misconception. 732 is great, but there's way more resources on mywlife.org.
So much information there, and I just want to encourage you to take the time to go through that. If you don't have the expertise, get with somebody, because we want you to see it, to be part of it, to be active, to keep your mind engaged. And really, we've got the light at the end of the tunnel here with COVID. And what we want you to do is we are excited to be here at Westminster Palms. We want you to be able to take part of that and stay engaged. So I'm going to turn it back over to Colin, because he's really got the good stuff.
Yep. One more thing, that we did have some good news while Mark was out. We did have that false positive. So
Yes.
We have no positive cases in IL, and we never had any positive cases. So that is a relief for all of us. But of course, we are still going to treat everybody like they have it. That's the only way to keep everybody safe. Masks, social distancing, 6 feet away, outdoor activities, those types of things. Treat everybody like they have it, and nobody will spread it.
That's right. And if you have any questions, reach out to my office. We're happy to help at any time. We want you to feel comfortable, engaged, and we are a resource for you, as well as the rest of the team. So have a great day, Colin. I'm going to hand it back over to you.
Thanks, Mark. Had a whole week off of work. Colin, did you enjoy yourself?
Well, I was here on Friday.
Oh, right. He had several days off of
Yeah. Off, and I spent a lot of time with my baby. So a lot of just goo goo gaga, sitting around, not doing much of anything with that, but it was good. It's good time with the child.
It is a little frustrating to take time off of work and not be able to go anywhere. And you at home know exactly what we're talking about, is that we've all made sacrifices. Myself and Colin and Mark, we all just took recent breaks. And it's a good time to mentally recharge, time with your family and loved ones. And so we hope that you're doing the same, and that we hope that you got to spend some quality time with your friends and family. Remember, in IL, you can leave campus anytime you'd like. So we are limited by our visitations on campus, but we have a wonderful park across the street, and you can meet with your family there as well. Outdoor engagements are great ways to go. It's safe, and you can have a great time together. So, Colin, we are happy to have you back. I tell you what, the residents were going crazy without having that fitness center open. You're an important part of their life.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back, and I love the enthusiasm. It's that's one good thing out of this, is that we've seen people come back to the fitness centers even more, and it's really exciting to see their excitement levels with fitness.
Now, when would you say is the busiest time of year in the fitness centers?
Well, January, of course, as always, and we're definitely going to put in a lot of things to help people curb that enthusiasm a little bit. But yeah.
So do you have open slots available? You have people in where they can register for those? What's that look like?
Well, as far as just the open times in the fitness center, it's pretty full. But if you have an open schedule, then I can work with you and figure out a time to get you in there. But it's not going to be, right now we have 15 to 20 people a day coming in, and we can only have 2 to 3 max, depending on what equipment is being used in the gym at the time. So it's not like it's just, hey, stop by, I can come in at 10:30 whenever I want. It's not something like that.
And if they make fitness their highest priority, they can definitely figure out a way to get in.
Absolutely.
They'll just have to compromise on some other things.
Yep.
And in January, that's when people start to really focus on that.
You're right.
I myself started a new workout routine. My wife and I are now doing a beach body workout in the mornings before work. So if I fall asleep during the show, it's because I got up early to work out.
All right.
Or if I sit in this chair for the next 6 hours, it's because my thighs are burning and I cannot get up.
Is it all body weight based, or do you have
We're doing what's called 22 hardcore. With Tony Horton.
Oh yeah, I know Tony
and
Horton.
It's a boot camp based workout.
Gotcha.
So it is a mix of everything.
Yeah.
Body presses, body weights, some actual weights, a lot of cardio, a lot of jumping, a lot of crawling, burpees. But it's 22 minutes. So it's a lot like T125 Insanity.
Yeah.
It's just like constant with no breaks. And so we're going to do that for about 6 weeks and get kind of back into shape. And then we'll be able to move on to something where we can do something longer than 20 minutes. My wife and I are going to be supplementing it with running.
Yeah.
So we'll run 3 to 5 days a week along with that. And hopefully it'll get me slim and trim in no time, along with our diet.
What's the diet improvements?
Well, for me, I love fast food. So all I have to do to lose not stop at a fast food restaurant on the way home. Verbally, it sounds so easy to do, but I tell you what, at 5:30 it's just so hard to drive past those hamburger places.
Really?
And so I'll just cut out fast food. I don't eat a lot of sugary snacks. I don't eat a lot of salty snacks. I'm not really a snacker.
Yeah.
So the 2 big things for me is going to be cutting out fast food and then bringing my lunch to work. There's a lot of healthy options here, but I just cannot eat a salad every day. It won't do it for me. So I'm going to start meal prepping for lunches. When you meal prep, cook one big meal on a Sunday and then chop it up and save it and eat it for the rest of the week. I think that I'm going to be able to save a lot of calories in my diet by eating lunch better.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else exciting over the weekend? You probably just worked on your dissertation the whole time.
I did, actually. I did. I had a big paper due last night, and so it was extensive. And I mean, just that I got done with it at 7, but the editing took 3.5 more hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
I think that this dissertation is fascinating to you all at home because everything that he's learning, he's going to apply directly to us. This is a great education because he's learning current technology approaches and scientific research for things that will make our life better. What was the topic of your paper that you just turned in?
So I'm focused on the different ways that all the fitness certifications prepare trainers. So, how are they, what competencies does one certification train versus another one train, and what competencies should they be training for? And just a lot about the dynamic shifting nature of personal trainers. And, a lot of it is about how they're shifting from just a physical view of wellness to a multidimensional view of wellness. So, and that's why the certifications themselves need to change. So, and that's where that's all we talk about here is a multidimensional view of wellness with the spiritual side and the emotional side and all those things and how they play on the physical side.
And that perspective and that approach is so important for Colin to learn because he then can in turn that and apply that to your physical fitness routine. So make sure when you go to the gym, you go to the fitness center, ask him some questions about what you're doing with your life and get his perspective on how you approach fitness and whole body wellness because it's such an important part. And I'm telling you, we are so lucky to have this gentleman right here. He knows fitness inside and out. And you've got to get that from his brain and apply it to your life. It's very important.
Yep. And so while I was doing the editing last night, I got to watch Steph Curry put 62 points on the board.
62
so
points.
That's part of the reason that it took 3.5 hours, because I was watching at the same time. Steph is my favorite basketball player, and I have not got to see him. Well, nobody's got to see him do that before, because that was his career high. But I haven't got to see him be like that for many years right now, and that was something very special to me, just to see that type of basketball in the NBA, because you see the other side, and Damian Lillard is great, and I didn't see one backdoor cut from Damian. So it's just like I just love it. I love it so much.
So as valuable as Colin is to us, we know that he still gets distracted by the TV, just like a normal human does, and it takes him a little longer to do his work. But what I'm hearing from him is that it was totally worth it to watch his favorite player put up a career high 62 and work on his dissertation at the same time. So I'm imagining Colin watching TV, riding, holding a baby in one arm, and maybe drinking a protein shake in the other arm.
Pretty close. Yeah, the baby was luckily asleep, so that we're figured out. But what's really funny was the second that Steph would go out, I would mute it and I would focus like super heavy on the dissertation, and then I had to just, okay, he's back in, and I'd unmute it, and then so I could hear, and I had it on rewind, right? So I could kind of work, and if I heard the broadcaster say Steph was starting to do some cooking, then I could be like, rewind 15 seconds, and I could watch it. So that was kind of the process. That's why it was a long 3 hours. Chelsea had fallen asleep with Oliver. The baby was asleep. So it was just me all night just doing my thing. So
that's fun times. Well, I, as you know, am from Georgia. I am a Bulldog myself, work for the University of Georgia as well. But my father went to the University of Clemson, and my mother is from Clemson, and I have family that are there in Clemson. So I was actually raised as a Clemson Tiger. So I have double loyalties for the Georgia Bulldogs and the Clemson Tigers. And Georgia Bulldogs won their bowl game on Friday. And then Friday night, Colin and I went out together to watch Clemson get absolutely trounced by Ohio State. So that was quite an embarrassment. Luckily, the restaurant was not very crowded. We had plenty of space, but we enjoyed watching that game together, except for the fact that Clemson played terrible and kind of ruined my big win. However, Clemson is 4-1 all time against Ohio State. So my wife, who is a Buckeye from Ohio, she got some bragging rights Friday night. Unfortunately, I have to live with that for another year until Clemson trounces them next year.
So,
sports.
So I was going to ask, is there any solace in the fact that at least someone in your house was happy that Clemson lost? Is that I mean, would it be worse if Clemson lost to Alabama? Because then nobody's happy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you have to lose, I'm happy to lose to my wife's team because they're playing in the national title next Monday.
And it gives you a team to root for her.
Yeah, I can't root for Ohio State or Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Cosmos in that one.
Mm-hmm.
But I will
meteor shower.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll enjoy the game. Speaking of January 11th, that's when Mark was saying that our vaccine starts. It's also a resident association meeting the evening of January 11th. So next Monday at 6:30 right here on 732, we'll have that broadcast live for the first time ever. And we're going to allow 20 residents to come to that in person as well. So if you're interested in attending the first resident council meeting of 2021 and the first one in person in almost a year, that'll be next Monday night. Whew, Colin, what do you have happening going on here at Westminster Palms?
Yeah, so we have a really big event today. It's our kind of kickoff event at 2:30 in Tides Gallery B, so the back room there. Jill will be talking about ways to keep your New Year's resolutions. So kind of a interactive presentation format. So she'll give you some information. She'll get some feedback, kind of talk about the best strategies for that.
So that's Tides Gallery B.
Uh-huh.
Let's reconnect with the way that's set up. It's a little bit confusing. The naming rights are still open on this new multi-purpose room that Colin and I are sitting in. And we're calling it Tides Gallery simply because that's what the multi-purpose room in Palm View was called before, just to make it easier on you at home that when you know we say Tides Gallery, we're meaning this room here. Both rooms together with no air wall is called Tides Gallery. If the air wall is up, we're calling it Tides Gallery A, Tides Gallery B. We're shortening that to TGA and TGB, A being the room in the front, which is closest to the bistro, B being the room in the back, which is closest to the outside doors. So right now, Colin and I are sitting in TGA. Please share that with all your friends. It's a little bit confusing. So Jill's going to be in which one?
TGB at 2:30.
The back room at 2:30. You got to come down and check that out. New Year's resolutions are big for everybody. So come down and learn what you can and then figure out a way to stick to it, because we know with New Year's resolutions, the big problem is everybody always forgets it or doesn't care or quits or changes their priorities. And you got Jill and Colin here to help you with that. Whew. So from my side of things, we do have a big program today at 3 o'clock in TGA. So, shortly after 2:15, you need to head down to TGA. And we are showing Downton Abbey at the residents' request. A lot of residents love the movie series. I guess it's a TV series, Downton Abbey. Every Monday at 3 p.m. in TGA, we have been showing an episode of Downton Abbey. And let me tell you what, watching a movie in this new multi-purpose room is great. The screen is big, the sound is fantastic. It finally works the way it's supposed to work. So you're going to see plenty more movies on the calendar happening in Tide's Gallery. So come on down and check that out. Also, our chaplain, Stephen, has some new programs he's rolling out this week. Let me see if I've got those right here. He's doing a grief and emotional support group and a Bible study. Those two things he is rolling out in a dementia support group, and they're happening at 10 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Check your calendar for details. I know that we have a void in our life for emotional support. It has been difficult through COVID, and so Chaplain Stephen is laying these out so you can have some opportunities to connect with other people. So back to fitness, focusing on that whole body wellness going on from these support groups. What else is going on that we need to know
absolutely.
about?
That's great from Chaplain Stephen. What a great idea. I hope people definitely take advantage of that. We are also going to have, back by popular demand, my intensive courses. So this is, if you really want to change your life and keep those New Year's resolutions, all right, I'm going to be providing an intensive course, okay? It's going to be 3 days a week, and it's going to be 5 to 6 weeks long. We haven't decided on that completely yet, but you really need to be able to commit to every single fitness session. It's going to be limited to 3 to 5 people, all right? And that will be on the new calendar that comes out Wednesday, all right? So Wednesday, that it will be open for sign up, because once I have 5 people, there will be no more people. All right, so we're going to have a morning edition. We're going to have an afternoon edition. I don't have the time and location just yet. We will solidify that tomorrow. It will be out on the brand new calendar. And if you're somebody who is looking to lose that weight, last year, I think our average participant lost almost 2% body fat in 6 weeks. All right, that's a huge amount of weight loss. We don't need to worry about the pounds. You want to worry about your body fat, because the pounds will shut off if the body fat goes down. All right, so just really want to encourage you to sign up early, because that class will fill up. Last year we had a bunch of people who said, I can't make it this time, so now we're doing 2 rounds of that class, and really encouraging you to get signed up for that class. And it's a lot of fun. We build a lot of camaraderie, because it is a very intensive class. That's why it's called intensive. It's challenging, but the 3 to 5 people that you're in there with every single day, everybody's going through it together.
And if they want to register, how do they register for that?
We'll have online sign up, and we will have sign up in the books.
Gotcha. Now, 2 things that go along with this. Number 1 is that Colin mentioned that you've got to go to everyone. There's a high accountability factor here. And because it's a small group of max 5 people, if you take one of those slots, guess what? You have got to do it, and you got to stay there, because if you miss or you drop out, you are taking away from somebody else who really wanted it. So we want to make sure that the 5 people who get those slots are going to be accountable and going to be there every day. So this is for serious people about fitness. The second thing is that you are so lucky to have Jill and Colin right here, is that you're basically getting a personal training session with him with this small class. People pay really good money for this. And since you live here at Westminster Palms, you need to get out and use these services. I'm telling you, this is exactly why you moved to Westminster Palms, to have a community and to have personal training right here next to you. Walk down from your room, take this class, and he is going to shed pounds for you. Your body, you're going to lose that weight, and you're going to change that body fat percentage, which is what it's all about, which is in turn is going to make your life longer and give you a higher quality of life.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't beat that right here at Westminster Palms. Now, you can find out more details about this on the calendar, like you mentioned, and then possibly at Open Forum tomorrow as well.
Yep, we should have the update at Open Forum tomorrow. That's our goal.
Gotcha. So tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. is our January 2021 Open Forum. We will be rolling out our new theme for January, which is called Brighter Days Ahead. That's right here at Westminster Palms and Westminster Communities of Florida, we are selling hope, and you are buying it. Brighter Days Ahead. I mean, we have to buy hope at this point. If we didn't have brighter days ahead, what would the future look like?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say
It's
it
cheap
can't
right
get
now.
worse, but it's getting better, and it's going to get better. It's cheaper, that's right. And so brighter days ahead is what we're selling. So tomorrow for Open Forum, Tuesday, 3:00, it will be live on channel 732 right here. It will be broadcast in the Palms TV icon on My W Life shortly after that. And we also have 20 spots available for people who'd like to see in person. Colin mentioned that there's online registration for his boot camp class. What do you call that class?
Just the intensive.
The intensive class.
Mhm.
And we also have spots available for in-person Open Forum. If you want to do that, you go to the W Life icon, scroll down until you find the event, click on that, and you'll see where to register right there. So make sure you register in person online to join those things in person. So that's tomorrow at 3:00 p.m. and also right here on channel 732. You'll be getting all of your updates from the directors. Many of them will have on masks, so you're going to want to turn that volume all the way up on your TV because some people have a hard time hearing. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is until everybody gets vaccinated and we get through this pandemic. What it's all about. The other thing I wanted to let you know about in resident services is thank you to Jim Sweeney, who's been doing his art talks on Friday evenings. He is moving those art talks from the Palm Room to right here in Tides Gallery A, and he's going to use this glorious technology and sound system for his talks. So come on down Friday night at 7 p.m. right here at Tides Gallery A to see Jim Sweeney's art talks. Jim is an amazing guy, tons of art knowledge inside his head, and he's going to get that out and give it to you, and you will enjoy it. Colin, do you have anything else going on in fitness?
Yeah, final thing I want to mention is the ping pong table. So we keep the ping pong table up in TGB as much as we can when there's no meetings going on, presentations going on in there. So take advantage of that. As far as the free play, we did do kind of an open play style scheduled time on the calendar last Friday. So we got an extra person out there. We have Peter and Davida using it constantly. So if you see them in there, they love to play with anybody. You can stop in with them. We have the paddles and balls out there. So on the next calendar, we're going to get another time for some more open play that'll be a little bit more structured, where I'll be down there and helping people. So even if you don't know how to play, we can teach you all the rules. We can help you with that. And it's just a ton of fun. I mean, there's a ton of space in there, and ping pong is a really easy game to play. So it's a ton of fun.
It's a lifetime sport. It's ping pong, table tennis is something you can pick up after you've retired. You don't need any previous experience. It is a sport that you can certainly play, and it is great for dexterity and vision and coordination, and it will get you moving on your feet just a little bit. So come on down and join us. Table tennis is a great way to spend time. Even if you don't want to play table tennis, come down and socialize a little bit because it's always fun to watch.
Yeah.
And Peter and Davida are always there playing. They would love to have you join them as well. Well, that sounds great, Colin. Do you have anything else to add for everybody else?
I'm done for today.
I feel pretty good as well. Happy January 4th to everybody. We have brighter days ahead.
Thank you, everybody.